is going to be an editing video, and we're going to edit a picture I took of my wife Aude when we were at the restaurant during our holidays, and just going to show you quickly how I do my workflow, my editing workflow. I'm not going to go into the details. I'm going to assume you've already used Lightroom, that you're in a kind of an entry-level person, that you have access to Photoshop, although most of the Photoshop section can be done on Lightroom too. It's just very much faster on Photoshop. And really, I really wanted to show you, if some ideas on how to edit, and hopefully it will help some of you go further. And if you don't use Lightroom as a general rule, really, I hope this is going to convince you that editing is half the fun, or at least gets really great results. Because to me, editing is at least as good. Editing through Lightroom is worth, quality-wise, at least more than buying a new generation of camera. It really is. If you want to get your photography to the next level without investing too much, editing through Lightroom, Capture One, and so on and so forth is really going to be the next level for you. Don't buy a newer camera, try editing, and then once you are okay with editing, maybe buy a new camera. We'll have a lot to talk about in the next few videos. Hope you enjoy, and let's go to the computer for the next few minutes and see this editing. What have we got here? It's a simple portrait I took of Aude, Italy. Really a fine day. It was really hot, and I believe we found this osteria near the Vatican. And it was really nice. It was a lovely place, Osteria Nuvolari. The light was beautiful. Good thing is I had my 35mm with me. Great little portrait lens. It's light, it's beautiful, gets a lot of light in, and really it allows me to take portrait pictures of people who are on the other side of the table, which is why I call it my restaurant lens. It's also my everyday carry, really, if I'm honest. So here we have this light coming on her right part of her face, which is our left. And really there's nothing much to do, maybe change a bit the color and some details of course. So let's jump into it. So first I'm going to go at a 50% zoom. It's really sharp. I'm really happy with it. And first, let's see what Lightroom says. I always like listening to Lightroom. Lightroom is good. Lifts the highlights, the shadows a bit much, and reduces the highlights a bit much, but that's fine. I won't put contrast in. I'm not into those very contrasty portraits. Those sharpening settings are to me, the best sharpening results for the XT2. It looks natural. As soon as you put detail in, you get those warmth in, and we don't want that at all. And amount adds a bit of sharpness. See, a bit of sharpening. This is actually a great place to see how sharp it is without putting any warmth. So this sharpening, if you have an XT2 or a Fuji camera with the same sensor, I would completely recommend you using those sharpening settings. No noise reduction, of course. I don't put any color noise reduction if I can afford to. Let's see, upright. Yeah, looks good. Nothing changed. The best part, calibration. So this is a portrait, so I'm going to go with an orange and teal look, because it's going to end up on Instagram, and that's a ticket, right? Oh god, there's a lot of orange here. So the thing with orange and teal, I really like to do it with a classic chrome look. And we may want to, the hardest part to get right is the red saturation. See a bit too much, and as soon as you go too far, it's really ugly. So you don't want to do too much. This is always really hard to get right, but this looks nice. This looks natural. I'm into this a bit, kind of a gritty look. Why am I using calibration and not the HSL? So mainly it's because I don't really care about any colors. I want the whole look to be homogeneous, and calibration works, of course, on all the pixels and not only the pixels of a certain color. So every green part, every red part, every blue part of the pixels are edited, and that's why I use it here, because I don't care about keeping, you know, her shirts look consistent. And I really do enjoy this contrast between the blue shirt, the orange drink, and her skin. So here we have it. I think we're good to go with the colors. I might take a bit of saturation off. And now to the details. Before we jump into Photoshop, I'll just clean her teeth a bit. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details here, and just put a range mask. Very nice. Hang on. Not so nice. Let's clean up her lips. There you go. Nice and natural look. All right, now for the Photoshop. All right, so first things first, let's duplicate the layer. Let's clean her up. Here. It's really, generally speaking, we want to take any little imperfection, which is, you know, non-permanent imperfection. You don't want to edit too much off, because you want to recognize who you are taking a picture of course. The harder part is below her eyes here. There's many ways to change that. I'm going to go with the lazy way, a bit of a dodge and burn. All right, let's go for the eyes. So you can do it, of course, in Lightroom, and you can do everything in Lightroom. But my favorite thing, and that's where you can get a bit artsy, I guess you'd say, and clean and give it a really, really lovely natural look, is if you see, slowly but surely, add some straight lines following the shape of the eye, and look how it lifts up. It doesn't look like much, but before and after, you see how nice and lovely this is. So we're just going to take a bit off because I think I overdid it here. Nice. And then the second thing you can go do with the eyes is do the same. Use a curve, tone it down, and just nicely, slowly, whoopsie, slowly. I mean, quickly if you're good. Just paint the darker parts darker. And it will give it quite a highly realistic look, and it will get the eyes out. Lovely. So there's nothing much more to do here. Maybe let's cheat a bit, and instead of dodging and burning her whole face and blurring and so on and so forth, let's see how the neural filters go. So skin smoothing, it works better and better every time. And I feel there's a lot of work being done now by Photoshop and Adobe, and they're doing a great job. See, this looks nearly natural. What I do generally is I bring the opacity down to get her skin back. I'm not going to do anything about the hair. First, because it would take ages. And second, because I like it as it is. And that's it. One small edit for Aude. Right, back in Lightroom. And let's just give a bit of a punchy feeling to a bit of texture. Maybe dehaze a bit. To the drink, let's make it pop. Oh no, dehazing, certainly not what you want. Maybe a bit of saturation in. Yes, nice and lovely. Look how thirsty it will make you. And we're good to go. One last small edit. And voila! Before, after, lovely. You tinker with an image, you can go, there's always stuff you can do. So let's see what we can do with Lightroom. Feeling like in Italy already. Let's add a bit of vignetting. Remember, we mustn't forget about that. And I always prefer using a radial filter for vignetting. It's quicker. You can get the filter, well, you can put it where you want. And we're done, really. So here's a before on the right and after on the left. So maybe some additional changes, of course, maybe tad less red on the skin, but really there's nothing much we could do more. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. It was a blast to try it out for me. I really enjoyed making it. And remember, editing is half the fun. And well, see you next time. Maybe like, subscribe, as they say. And hope I can get enough time out to do a next video. Because I have to tell you, they woke up during the video twice. Well, alright, see you next time.